Thomas and the Big Delivery. "Thomas," called the conductor, "I have a job for you." "Here I am," shouted Thomas as he burst out of the shed. "Now, Thomas, I have a very important delivery for you to make," said the conductor. "You must deliver this satellite to the Space Center, and they need it as soon as possible." "You picked the right engine for the job," Thomas said excitedly. "Okay, then, pull forward so the yard crew can load it up," said the conductor. The yard crew carefully loaded the satellite onto the flat car behind Thomas. This was a very important load, so they took extra care while loading it. "Okay, Thomas, you're all loaded up and ready to go," said the conductor. "And be careful with it," he shouted at Thomas as Thomas sped away. But as Thomas poured the steam to it and shot out of the rail yard, he heard the conductor shouting, "Thomas, stop! You're on the wrong track!" Thomas stopped and looked back. He saw indeed that he was on the wrong track, and that a switchman was waiting for him to back up so he could be switched to the main line. "Oh, good grief," sighed Thomas. And what had made this event even worse was that the bigger engines in the yard, both steam and diesel, had seen Thomas go the wrong direction. He was sure to hear about it later. After Thomas had backed up and was clear of the switch, the switchman pulled the lever back, and now Thomas was able to get onto the main line. "Thomas, remember what I said," called out the conductor. "This is a very important delivery." As Thomas sped away on the main line through the center of town and out of sight, the other engines and the yard workers began to snicker. "This is what happens when you send a boy to do a man's job," one of the engines growled, and the yard workers just sighed and nodded their heads in agreement. As they were closing the shed doors, the switchman asked the conductor, "Are you sure that Thomas is the right engine for a job this important?" "He'll do fine," said the conductor. "He'll do fine." But the look on the conductor's face didn't seem all too sure about that.
Beameister 22, the most dangerous man on YouTube.